You know the feeling when a sound just gets under your skin? Well, what if the sound of someone chewing could send you into a rage? Or a simple sniffle could trigger a wave of actual panic? For millions of people, these aren't just minor annoyances. They're part of a really challenging condition called misophonia. Today, we're going to dive into what it is, what's happening in the brain, and what can actually be done about it. To really get a feel for it, check out this description. For someone with misophonia, a quiet, everyday noise doesn't stay quiet. It becomes a deafening thunderclap in your head. I mean, just imagine that for a second. It's a completely overwhelming physical sensation. So that's the big question, right? What is going on here? Why does a totally harmless sound get interpreted by the brain as this massive personal threat? That's exactly what we're going to explore. Okay, so first things first, we need to be really clear that this is so much more than just being annoyed by a sound. It's a recognized disorder that can seriously impact someone's life. So here's the official breakdown. Misophonia is all about these super intense negative reactions to specific sounds. And we're not just talking about feelings here. This is a full-blown physiological response. Your body reacts with anger, anxiety, even genuine panic. And the crazy thing is, the triggers are often these incredibly simple, human-generated sounds, things you hear every single day, like someone chewing, breathing, clicking a pen, or even just rustling a piece of paper. For someone with misophonia, any of those can set it off. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds pretty rare, but it's really not. Research suggests that about 5% of people have it. That's 1 in every 20. So in a room of 20 people, chances are one of them is dealing with this on a level that's severe enough to really disrupt their daily life. Yeah, so the condition itself is not uncommon, but here's the catch. A lot of people who have it feel totally alone. They might not even know there's a name for what they're experiencing. And it's so important to get this. It is not a personality flaw. It's a real difference in how the brain processes sound. So, what is actually going on inside the brain to cause this? Let's peel back the layers and look at the neurology, starting with what you could call the brain's threat detector. Okay, so brain imaging studies are pointing us to one area in particular, the salience network. Now, you can think of this network as your brain's bouncer. It stands at the door and decides which information is important enough to get your immediate attention. And a really key part of this network is called the anterior insular cortex, or AIC. And this is where you can see the huge difference. In a typical brain, the salience network hears someone chewing and basically shrugs it off. No big deal, nothing to see here. But in a misophonic brain, fMRI scans show that same network going into overdrive. It's an exaggerated response, basically screaming, "Red alert! This is a critical threat! You need to deal with this right now!" And when that alarm bell starts ringing in the brain, it kicks off this incredibly powerful full-body reaction. You've heard of it before, the classic fight-flight response. To really wrap your head around the intensity here, listen to this analogy. The feeling isn't just irritation. It's described as pure terror and helplessness. The body is reacting as if it's in legitimate, life-threatening danger. And this powerful response usually goes one of two ways. The fight part can show up as what's often called sound rage, just this immediate, overwhelming flood of anger. And the flight part? That's a desperate, all-consuming urge to just get away from the sound, to escape at any cost. And you have to remember, this is all automatic. It's a visceral, gut reaction. So if this is a hardwired response in the brain, what can people do? Are they just stuck with it? No, absolutely not. The good news is there are real effective strategies out there for finding calm. A few different evidence-based therapies are showing real promise. You have things like CBT, ACT, and DBT. Now, these don't magically make the trigger sound disappear. What they do is give people a powerful toolkit to reframe their thoughts, to learn to accept the intense emotion without reacting to it, and to manage the distress when it happens. And of course, it's not all about therapy. On a practical, day-to-day level, coping involves a whole mix of techniques. Things like managing your sound environment with earplugs or white noise, practicing stress reduction, and, this is a big one, having a pre-planned safe place you can go to when a trigger sound pops up. And this is where things get really exciting. This whole field of study is moving forward at an incredible pace. So let's take a look at the future of research because it offers a ton of hope. I mean, scientists are making some amazing progress. They're using artificial intelligence to figure out the exact acoustic properties of a trigger sound. They're working on objective ways to diagnose this, like measuring changes in heart rate. They're even looking into neurostimulation to directly target those overactive brain networks. It is a genuinely exciting time for misophonia research. Which brings us to this final, kind of mind-blowing question. With all these advances in technology and our understanding of the brain, what if someday we could identify and basically neutralize a trigger sound before that alarm bell in the brain even gets a chance to go off? The future for understanding and treating misophonia is definitely looking brighter than ever.